Hello, Passionful family. Welcome to Tea with D. I'm super excited about today's visit because guess what? It's not in my house. I'm in the comfort of my baby sister's home. This is Jerriann Martin, also known as Jezzy. Welcome to Tea with D, my sister.
Thank you.
Time, energy, and attention worth sharing. Before we jump into today's session, which is going to be about Jerriann's healing journey, we're going to pray ourselves in. Okay, y'all ready for this? You know, we need God to show up for us. Drink some tea. Pour some tea in a cup. That's what you got to do. Fill it up, Oh my God. Don't worry, it's only tea in my cup, y'all. Only tea in my cup. But for real. Heavenly Father, we just want to come before you, Lord. Just thank you for this moment, this hour, dear God, together to talk about our healing journeys, dear Lord. As we prep our minds and our bodies for the 2025 year, we ask you to just come into this moment, dear Father, and be a part of it with us. We are so grateful for all that you have done to bring us to the end of 2024, and we're excited about what you're about to do in 2025. We give you the honor and the glory, and it is in Jesus' mighty name that we pray. Amen. Amen. All right. So y'all know how we do. We got to show up our new cups before we jump in and say what's in it. So my Be Happy cup, y'all. See that? Be happy. And I even got the word be. Be happy. And in my cup today, Jerr was so gracious to give me a cup of calm. I know what you're trying to say, y'all. Maybe I'm a little bit too hyped. But it's Tea with D, my first house visit. And it's at my baby sister's house. So I'm super excited. But yes, this is what's in my cup. What about you?
In my cup is turmeric ginger tea.
Girl, that turmeric is something strong. You can have that one. All right. Because it's a house visit, you can't come to nobody's house without bringing them a gift. So, Jeje, I bought you a gift, girl. Let me put my tea down and show you what it is. My latest love. One for you. It's a pen diffuser, y'all, from Lifelines. And I love this pen. If I can get it open, but let's see. It's a diffuser inside of your pen. And you have the different tabs right here that you can pull down, the slots that you can infuse different scents while you're writing.
Thank you.
Yes, because the pen is our weapon of choice. And guess what? Why not have some aromatherapy while you're writing? It helps you, right? Get your mind ready for what we're about to do. So that's my gift to you, girl. One of the gifts from the house visits. Book me now. Book me now. Tea with D house visits. But anyway, we're gonna jump in, Jerr. I wanted to talk about your healing journey. My last Tea with D, I spoke about my own healing journey that I had, and I shared that you were one of the main reasons why I started that journey. And I spoke about the book that you shared with me that your therapist told you about. And I just wanted us to start with that, talking about why you decided to start your healing journey and how did it begin for you?
So the book that was suggested and recommended was Toxic Relationship Recovery. I decided that I needed to go on this journey because it was just a lot taking place and me not realizing my self-worth and just allowing people to dive into my pool, and every time they came up for air, they were taken from my pool, so it was getting lower and lower. So I didn't realize that until the day I needed to take a dip and it wasn't anything left. So therapy was suggested to me actually by one of the people that dipped too much in my pool. But it was the best thing for me. And it started this journey, and she made me, well, I feel like she opened my eyes to the things that I were wasn't paying attention to for like all these years. And it was just like light bulbs going off every time she mentioned something. Like, you're a people pleaser. You do things for validation, but in reality, the validation still doesn't make you feel valid. You know, always showing up for people and pouring so much into their cup when you were lacking, when I didn't have enough to pour back into myself. And these things, it started taking a toll on me, like mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Every aspect of my being started to be less than what it was. And that's why I decided to take this journey. And, you know, I feel God always appoints somebody into our life. And I feel like He brought her into my life for that reason. Her last name is Martin. Like, what are the odds? Her name being Martin as well. And, you know, I wanted a person of color, and she's not even a person of color, she's Italian, but the way we connected was just what I needed. And she told me things that nobody else would tell me or I needed to hear. And it wasn't easy. The journey was very difficult, and I'm still on the journey, so it's still not the easiest journey. You lose a lot. You lose a lot of relationships, you lose a lot of friendships, but you gain more within yourself. I would say within my 39 years of living, I think this is the most at peace I have ever been in my life. And yes, I think now I can count my friends on maybe one hand and a half, but I wouldn't go back because I feel like I'm actually starting to see me, love me, like me for once, and pleasing God instead of pleasing people. Because at the end of the day, no one no one sees you the way that God sees you. They see you as you know, something that they can use for the moment until they don't need you anymore. And that has been my life. I can think about even when I was younger, like just craving that attention, like pleasing my parents, pleasing my family, pleasing friends, pleasing teachers, pleasing, you know, my bosses, pleasing co-workers. It was always a cycle that I didn't realize that I kept on going down until it was brought to me. I think now I can count my friends on maybe one hand and a half, but yeah, and actually reading this book, like as you can see, I have like so many highlights and things like
Worse
that.
than me, y'all.
It really, it really like made me see that, wow, like this is toxic. I'm toxic. I have toxic ways. I have toxic tendencies. And I'm not saying because I'm on this healing journey that all of a sudden those toxic tendencies just went away. It's more that I acknowledge them. So when I see them coming on, I can say, oh wait, that's not where you need to go. And I'm working on it. Will it ever be 100%? I don't think so, because it makes me who I am as well. But the healing and the process is kind of like stripping away slowly those toxic behaviors or those toxic ways, and it feels lighter. And I enjoy being in nature now, right? Compared to a night of just like having drinks after drinks after drinks, becoming a person that I didn't even recognize, or like a person that, you know, everybody else would love to be around, but also that was the same person that everybody's talking about the next day as well. Um, I find joy in things that I never realized before. I hated nature. I hated nature because I hate bugs. I hate like my sister knows a bug come near me, I'm jumping out the window.
Losing her life, y'all.
And that was something else that my therapist recommended. And that's why I said God knows everything, because I got my car in 2020, and I knew because he wrote all of my stories, right? So he knew for a fact that I would needed my car. And because of um have in my car, I was able to start exploring nature and just feeling different. And now a book can land on me and I don't jump out the window. I may go, "Ah," but it's still not the same because nature brings a certain peace to me. Sometimes I just sit there and I hear the water like just washing back and forth. And sometimes I feel that God is there. Like I feel his presence. You know, you look up at the sky and I feel him like looking down on me and tell me it's gonna be okay. Um, you know, besides like people, I've been like dealing with my own things. And even in that, like I feel more trustworthy, knowing that it's not always going to be this way, that things are going to get better. So I will say that starting reading this book just made me start like noticing that I deserve more. And I feel like, you know, people say things to me now and they're like, oh, you this or you that. And I'm just like, no, it's just I rather this peacefulness than chaos. I rather this than arguing. Like I used to love arguing with people. Who loves arguing with people? That's like you be like, what is wrong with you? Like, you know, like these are things that I used to indulge in past friendships and relationships, like just arguing and feeling like that was normal, right? Because we normalize things because that's what we know and that's what we saw. And I normalized so many toxic things in my life, even like friends, like saying things to me and then saying, oh, that's a joke, right? Like, but in reality, it's an insult. But when you don't realize that, you're like, oh, yeah, it's a joke, right? They're my friend. Why would they say something that is going to belittle me? Why are they going to say something that will hurt my feelings? You know, you don't think about those things until, I remember it was one time, like, I was in session and my therapist was like, Jerriann, you be letting people say some crazy stuff to you. And the crazy thing is that like I feel that when um when I need to speak up for myself, like it does come out. But when it comes to my friends and family, I used to kind of like, you know, allow it to take place. But now I feel that because of this journey and because I'm like becoming a different person, I'm able to speak up for myself, even with family members, even with friends now. And and it makes me feel better. Like I feel better.
Woo, that was a lot. But you know what? This is very important when you can actually reflect on your journey and be able to share it without being emotional, right? I remember a phase through this year when you couldn't talk like that without getting emotional, right? And I have a bunch of things that I wanted us to go through. And one of the things that I want you to just really reflect on and to then speak on it is that emotional state. I too read that book, and one of the things that I felt that this book gave us was the language, right? That we needed to really talk about the trauma, talk about the toxic relationship. It gave you the language to now communicate the things that you've been grappling with over the years. And you also mentioned, if y'all see me looking to the side, I'm looking at my notes, but you also mentioned that this journey affected you physically, right? And I wanted us to talk about autoimmune diseases and how that has taken a toll on your physical body, but also the fact that they say that the body holds a score, right? And sometimes when we don't deal with the emotional trauma, it shows up in other ways in our bodies. So I wanted you to, if you feel comfortable enough, I know for me, one of the autoimmune diseases that I've been battling with is something that is not as severe as yours, right? But it's still something that makes me feel uncomfortable in this body that I'm in. So if you feel open, and I know I'm putting you on the spot. That's what I do sometimes with T.E.A. I'll put y'all on the spot so I can tap into the deep things that's inside of you that other people may be grappling with, but they don't know how to speak about it. So if you are able to just share a little bit about the autoimmune disease that you are fighting, right? Because we believe that that's going to be eradicated out of your body and out of your life. If you wanted, if you will be able to just share a little bit about that and how that has played a part in your healing journey and what that looks like.
Well, now I have no choice, right? It's now I got
have a choice.
Now I have to tell you.
Mind your business, T.
I have the at HS, the skin condition, and it's a autoimmune deficiency disorder, and it actually like became an issue when I was going through all of those things with those people that are no longer in my life. Like it's like she said, that even when you're not dealing with the emotions like up front, your body shows you, right? Like my body literally started shutting down. I started having outside of that, I would have panic attacks. Every time I got 10 minutes close to this place where these people were, like my body just reacted, and it was miserable. Even before these events, I went through other things in my life where I felt like I'd never fully healed from. So those wounds were still open. And all I did was just keep adding more and more onto those wounds by entertaining the same type of people, right? Once again, it's not like I didn't acknowledge this, right? It's traits that you seek after because of some type of trauma in your life, and I didn't realize it.
That we make that normal.
That we normalize. So it's like, oh, this person hangs up the phone on me, and this person cusses me out. Oh no, this is normal because I dealt with this in my childhood, or I saw this in my childhood, so it's normal. That's fine, right? So I think, and once again, like I feel that God allowed this because God protects us from everything, but He also allows things sometimes. So, and I had, I had to be broken. I had to be like broken the way I was for me to come back to God the way I did, for Him to start, because He's the one that is healing me. He's the one that is telling me that regardless of what, you're no longer broken. Like I'm mending you. You're being mended. And the HS is something else that has taken a lot from me. There are days that I don't want to do things. There are days that I'm in so much pain that I have to put on a smile because I'm a teacher, right? So
I see you wearing your shirt, girl, representing for Black Teacher Project. Girl, I see that.
All teachers' lives matter, but at the end of the day, so yeah, it took away from me. Like there are days when I'm in pain and I can't fully be in pain, right? Because I have to teach these little people in front of me, or there's days that my family has events and they want me to be part of, and I put on a smile because like I do still want to be active, right? I still want to live my life. I don't want to just like lay down and die, because that's how sometimes that's how you feel. Literally, that's how you feel. And but now I'm trying different things, and I'm being able to like cope with it more. And I feel, honestly, to me, I feel because I don't have certain stressors in my life anymore, and I'm not doing certain things like I used to do, it is getting better. Is it 100%? Is it even 90%? Is it even 80%? No, it's probably like 50%. Still got a whole 50% to go, but it's more manageable. Like now I have the strength to push through. Like and I'm not faking a smile. Like I'm fine. Like I actually can laugh and smile, and it's genuine. Even though like the pain may be there, you just have to live life. So you know, even with that, like I have went through a lot of self-esteem like issues as well. Like it just piled on top of the ones I already had. So it's like you know, you you ask yourself, why me, right? And like, why is this happening to me? But sometimes I feel things do happen to us too for us to refocus. Like I was a person that put people in front of myself, put people in front of God. Like I had this thing where I put people on pedestals, right? Like they're up here and they're here, and no one should be up here. Like like we're just on the same level. And it just all of this I feel like happened to me for me to refocus and me to realign my life. And I'm okay. Like I'm okay. Like I'm I feel that joy, restoring. I feel that inner happiness restoring. I feel that inner peace restoring. You know, and I know that it's gonna be better. And I have a great support system, like my sister, like my nieces, my mom, my older sister. Like I have like a great support system. My son, like he'll go do the errands when I'm not in the best mood. And just knowing that people understand, right? Because there's a difference when somebody says, "Oh girl, it's gonna be okay," but they don't understand, right? Like they don't understand because they're not in your body, they're not in your like state of mind. Like it's like that's why I'm like sometimes I laugh because even now me being at a new school, my co-teacher literally knows what I'm going through because it's like we're the same person. And when somebody understands you, is a certain type of compassion that comes along with it compared to like people that claim to understand or even claim to care or pretend to care, right? Because I could say to my sister, "Oh, I'm not feeling well." She go, "Oh, okay." And then she go, "All right, get over it." Then is the empathy that comes along with actually caring about somebody. Is the empathy like that genuine care is part that comes along when you say you care about a person, and it's it's a good thing. It's sometimes you say remove the things and the people that aren't for me, and then you just start seeing that like certain things just start like unraveling, and sometimes it needs to unravel for like the good things to come into your life. Life is never going to be perfect, but I feel like it can be a good life if we allow it to be. We um be good people, right? Be kind people, and just try to live the life that
Be happy people.
is I don't think that even in our suffering, you're supposed to find some type of joy,
Definitely.
So that's what I'm learning, and that's what I'm like striving for, to like find my joy even in my suffering.
That was great. Just I think as I think about 2024 just being a year of lessons, right? And a lot of times we think that we are losing a lot, but God gave me an acronym for loss, right? And he said it's lessons of surrender and strength, right? So I want you to think about 2024, and I want you to think about what was one of the most important lessons that you learned this year, and what is one of the strength that you gained from that lesson, and how you're going to apply that in 2025.
Um, one lesson I would have to say that I learned is that
The greatest lesson, because we learned a lot of lessons this
so
year.
the greatest lesson is learning to trust again. Because I would say that, not saying be no fool, mom didn't make a fool, but after having so much like mistrust in your life, it's hard to like open back up. But I would say that lessons that I learned this year is slowly opening up to people and just letting people be there for you. And because that's something that I do struggle with, because I'm that person. I'm like, I'm okay, and just shut the world out. But this year, a lesson that I learned is that it's okay to allow people to be there for you. I remember going to my coworker's classroom and saying I need a hug, and she would just hug me, and I would just like start crying, and she's like, Martin, I'm here for you, and she has been a person that has been very supportive of me, you know, and so that's something, because you can ask my sister, my nieces, everybody. I do have trust issues. So that's the greatest lesson I would say that I learned this year, to slowly, right? Because you don't do it too quickly, but slowly learn to trust again, and just have that discernment, right? Because not everybody deserves to be in your space. Not everybody deserves to have that energy. So moving forward, I think, right, continuing to pray and asking God for that strong spirit of discernment, allowing new things to come into my trust in new things, trusting, new activities, new experiences, just allowing this to happen, and knowing that whatever I'm going through, trusting God, like, because I feel like He is the one that my trust needs to be fully in, regardless of what it looks like, feels like, or sounds like, trusting that I'm gonna make it through, because I'm still here.
Oh,
Right.
still got purpose.
Yeah.
I think that's really deep. For me, trust has been a big thing also. I'm actually reading a book called I Want to Trust You, But I Don't by Lisa Turker.
That's my middle name, y'all.
But one of the last chapters that I read was talking about trusting God, right? And she has some journal prompts. And you know how hard it is for me to journal outside of my writer's notebook, but I actually was journaling in the book, and one of the things it says was you really reflecting on what happened or what God allowed that made you distrust Him. And for me, one of the things that I had to be honest with God was when He allowed a situation to happen to him, and trusting Him now with my son's safety, trusting Him now that knowing that He is covering him in this season. And it's hard, right? Because God allows what He allows to happen. He ordains what He ordains to happen. And at the end of the day, we don't get to have this debate with Him about what we think we should or deserve, right? And I think for me, being at a place now that I can tell God, right? I'm still scared, right? But I don't want to stay in the fear anymore. I'm still hurting, but I want to be healed, right? I want to trust you not only with my son, but my daughters and my marriage and all of these different areas of my life. I want to be able to trust God. So what are the things that you are doing to strengthen your trust with God? Like, how is that showing up in your life today?
So, she just got me putting all my business out there, y'all. So one way that I feel that I'm learning to trust God is that having that morning connection with Him. So
It's good. I want to talk about that.
I wake up at 4. When I tell other people, they'll be like, "Girl, what's wrong with you?" Mind you, I go to sleep like around 7, 8, early on Monday through Thursday, not on Friday. But I feel like having that time is when I connect with Him, and I'm able to hear His voice, right? Because at that time, my son is sleeping, my cat is sleeping, like everyone in the building is sleeping, so it's quiet. And, you know, I always start off with closing my eyes, and he has actually like drawn out a happy place in my mind. So before I even like read my Bible and things, I like focus myself there. And then I started the Bible app. So I normally like read the scripture for the day, and then they always have like a speaker like talking more about the scripture. So it's like a little mini like prayer session, and then there's another session where you get to like just like write and talk to God. So I do that, and then after that I journal, because I have a spiritual journal where I'm just talking to him. And
She has multiple journals, y'all.
but one is my spiritual journal, and in that spiritual journal, I just tell him, you know, what I need from him that day. And it's sometimes it's funny because like say like Monday happens, then Tuesdays, now I'm rereading what I wrote, and sometimes I check off the things that I received within that Monday. So it could be something as easy as just like, God, just get me through this day, because I know it's going to be one of those days. And he gets me through it. Sometimes I'm just like, you know, it's certain things that I know is God, right? Like one time I had like this like, I won't even say disagreement because I didn't put too much energy into it. I think my coach just said I was politely rude, right? And because it was this person that was just going out her way to be disrespectful. My thing is, I don't tolerate disrespect anymore, right? And I don't have to give you my energy. I just walk away. I literally like just stopped her from her and just walked away. And she got let go, right? Like a week later, she got let go, and it was like, oh, people were like, you know, giving reports about her not being a nice person. And I said, like, you know, I'm just like, that right there, right? And being a person of God is not about, you know, that he's going to take care of you, right? You know that a person that may not like you for whatever reason, right? You put like, there has been numerous people, because that's something that he tells me to write them in your, and he'll tell me which scripture to put their name in, or things like that. And you know, you'll see a difference in that person, because at the end of the day, God controls all, even your enemies. Will use your enemies to get you to where you need to be. And that's something that I really started trusting in him. And when you say, God, give me that spirit of discernment, he really gives it to you. And that's what I'm saying, like the trust, because the more you ask him for these things, it's not like, oh God, I need $20. Like, let me give me $20. It's not those materialistic things. Like, it's things that feed your soul. It's things that you need for that spiritual connection with him. And he gives it to you when you ask. So that's what's making me trust him more. Like, even in regards to my son, like it was a point where I was just very worried. Like just, you know, the things that like he was just not paying attention to and things like that. I said to him, like, you handle it. He's your son before he's mine. And there's an ease over me now, because it's like, at the end of the day, if we're praying and trusting God and something still happens, that was in his plan, right? So like now I say, God, if it's your will, right? Sometimes you and I had this conversation before, like we get caught up sometimes when it's not the will that we want, right? So now and I tell her all the time I feel disconnected, right? And I used to think that it was something that was a bad thing. But sometimes it's good to be disconnected from this world, because this world would take a lot from you if you don't know when to shut off and shut back on from it. You know, it's not to say that I'm disconnected from people. I'm just disconnected from certain things of this world. And I just feel the more you ask God to just reveal things and to you ask him, the main thing I just been asking him for is to bring me closer to him, you know. Um, you think about like how much we have tried to live on our own, right? And you want certain people in your life and you're like, oh, I need this person in my life, or you know, and you realize that not everybody needs to be in your life, and there's people in your life for reasons and seasons as well. And once again, that goes back to his will, right? Because he knows when this person's going to leave your life, and sometimes they're supposed to leave, but we're the ones holding on, and then that's when things kind of start going off script because we're the ones that like derailing, that thing from our life. So my trust in God, is it 100%? I would say it's 95%.
Okay.
And
goals.
yeah, because she knows, like, and the thing is, that's one thing too that I realized, you have to be honest with yourself and him, and because he's an honest guy, so that's what he wants us to be. Like, I feel like I'm able to say that to him, like, my trust is not 100%, but I'm working on it. That's where I want to get to that 100%. And has God given me reason to be at 95%? I don't think so, right? But it's a process. It's a process. Like I said, like he's not a person in this world, right? But with everything, as I feel like as humans, it's just like human nature. Like it takes us time to trust things. And it's like, I can say I trust my sister because she's sitting right here next to me. So imagine putting your trust and faith and hope in something that you can't see, but he's there, right? So me being at 95%, I know that one day and sooner than later, it's gonna be 100% because he has shown me that he is there and he has brought me from a long way. And when, like, when you said reflecting, when I reflect on where I was last year to here, where I reflect where I was 2 years ago to here, like she said, it's certain things that I couldn't talk about, with getting angry, with getting emotional, with like becoming like sad. So that's how you know when you're really healing and processing and letting things go, because it doesn't feel the same anymore. And that's a good thing, right? You don't I read this thing today. It said, if you're depressed, you're stuck in the past. If you're anxious, you're too much in the future. If you're at peace, you're in the present. And that's where I want to be, at peace, and that's what it is.
Oh, need to take a minute. Take a sip. Even if you don't have 95% of faith yet in God, it's okay. Because according to his word, all you need is that mustard seed of faith, and he's going to show up. However, faith without works is what? Dead. So you have to put in the work. And how we're putting in the work, we're working on getting our shit together, right? In 2025, our strength, our hope, our intentions, and our tenacity. And we're going to be wrapping up soon, but I wanted to really get you to do two things. Because you never know with T.E.A. what I'm going to ask you to do to tap in, right? But in your journal, you have your notebook with you? I want you to set up your page, date, time, location, and mood. You didn't open your fancy pen yet, so you got to write with a regular pen. I can't let her write with my pen. This is Citrus Grove. Smells so good. And each of my tabs has something different. I have energy, I have calm, I have focus, and joy. I need to copy these pens. These pens are also going to be in my T.E.A. writing kit coming soon. Coming soon. All right, so when we write in our notebooks, Jerr likes writing in journals. She has multiple journals for different things. I like writing in my writer's notebook. It's the one place where everything goes for this season that I'm in. But one of the things that we always do when we write in our notebooks is set up a page with date, time, location, and your mood. One of the things that I want you to think about 2024. Because guess what? Tomorrow will be no more. 2024. And I want you, where is it? I want you to draw a leaf in your notebook, in your journal. I had a leaf that oh, here it is. If you needed to trace it. Oh, but she's an artiste, y'all. She's an artiste. She's drawing her own leaf. But I've been collecting these leaves, just leaves that just stand out to me. I've been laminating them, but wanted her to draw a leaf in her journal. And under the leaf, I want you to put 2024. And inside of the leaf, I want you to think about 3 things that you want to leave in 2024 that's no longer serving you. And then next to the leaf, I want you to draw a seed. So we're entering to 2025. I really, really, really get excited when I think about 2025 because the number of grace is on it. So I want you to think about 5 things that you want to grow in 2025 and to write it. Well, you need a bigger seed, girl.
He said seed's not so big behind.
You need a big seed, girl. That's the mustard seed right there, honey. We need a bigger seed than that, Jerr. All right. 5 things that you want to grow in 2025. And when you guys are watching this, you can actually do this activity too. Okay. I'm going to actually be doing these types of activities throughout the week on my Instagram. The passionate one underscore Trini Girl underscore. The passionate one underscore Trini Girl underscore. Follow me for more inspiration. We getting our shit together, y'all. Our strength, our hope, our intentions, and our tenacity for 2025. All right, so I want you to take one of these beautiful flags. Pick a color. How did I know she's gonna pick pink? All right, I want you to flag that page. So this quick write is coming with a follow-up assignment. What I want you to do, starting tomorrow morning, when you wake up and you do your morning rituals and routines, I want you to visit this page and remind yourself of the things that you are leaving behind in 2024 and the things that you want to grow in 2025. But one of the things that we want to be mindful when we say we are planting seeds is that we have to cultivate the growth, right? We need tools for the season. So I want you to think about all of the things that you said you want to cultivate, and every day, what is one thing that you can do to make sure that you are tending to those seeds, right? So if I want to cultivate my relationship with God, right? One of those things may be setting some T.E.A with God, right? And that may take place in the morning. It may take place at lunchtime. It may take place before I go upstairs when I park my truck. But to really sit with the things that you're saying, these are the things that I want to grow, and really spend some time nurturing those seeds to make sure that they not only grow, but the tree that you're going to be harvesting your fruits from has secure roots. Do you want to share your seeds that you want to grow? You don't have to share what you're leaving behind, because that's nobody's business, girl. That's your own. But if you would like to share any of the seeds that you want to grow in 2025.
Self-love, inner peace, inner happiness, strength, and endurance.
Strength, love, inner peace. Repeat it.
Self-love, inner peace, inner happiness, strength, and endurance.
I love it. And when you think about endurance, you can have T.E.A anytime. Oh, Jizzy. But when you come to the end of a journey, right? We're about to end 2024 and look forward to stepping into 2025. I wanted to share some tools that I am going to be utilizing even more, right? One of the things y'all know, I love teas, right? So teas is one of my tools for the season that I love to have. It can be in the morning, in the nighttime, but teas, especially my herbal blends, is something that I love to have. Another thing that I started now was these stress mist. Oh, y'all see that? Sometimes you just need to pick me up really quick. And this one is stress relief. This has eucalyptus in there and spearmint. I ain't gonna spray because Jerr has a lot of allergies. I'm gonna spray myself right now for a little pick me up. You smell that up? Take a little sniff. Yeah, yeah. That's one of my tools for the season. And candles. Did you get one of these in your little Christmas bag, Jizzy?
No, I did not.
You're telling a lie, or you're telling the truth?
I'm telling the truth. I didn't get candles.
Well, guess what? See what happens when T.E.A makes a whole visit? It comes to you. And these candles, oh my gosh, Shakespeare Bay, Mind and Body. See what's on there?
Joy plus laughter.
So each of these candles come with a different thing that's on there that you may want to pull in for 2025, right? This one I brought to Jerr is Joy and Laughter, because I really and truly want her to be joyful Jerriann. I won't tell y'all what I'll be calling her. But this is something that can be a part of your tools of the season, candles. I love my diffusers, right? I would never, ever let go of them. But I'm adding candles to the mix now also. So this is another gift to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Love on yourselves. Give to yourself. Pour into your cup. But if you pour into your cup, you better what? Throw that pinky up. Yes. So, Jizzy, girl, I want to say thank you for inviting me into your house, girl. This was the first T.E.A house visit. Super excited to be here. Before we wrap up, what is one gem that you want to throw out to our passion-filled family that they can take with them into 2025.
Peace is needed.
Yeah.
In any area in your life. It may not be that easy to have it in certain areas, but to have it in at least one main area in your life, you need it. As people walking around in this world where we don't know what's going on day to day, peace is something that is needed. But if you're not a person that like peace and you like drama and you like all that stuff, do your thing. I'm just saying.
Stay over there.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't get me wrong, I still watch my little drama shows because you need it somewhere in your life. I just don't want it in my life anymore. But yeah, peace, working on your peace is the best thing that you can do. And maybe it's because I'm getting older.
You're about to turn 40.
It's a desire of mine.
40 Club. Woo, woo. Okay, so what am I going to say to y'all as we wrap up 2024? There's more. There is more. There is more for us. There is more for you. There is more for me. There is more for Jerr. There is more. We serve a God of abundance. We serve a God who wants to give us the desires of our hearts, but it has to be aligned to his will. So I want to leave you with this. His way, his will, according to his word and in his time. If you can accept that, you'll be good. You will be able to cop some of that peace that she's talking about. You will find your purpose and you will be protected for the journey that's ahead of you. And that is one thing that I am walking in securely now, is the truth that no matter what God may have allowed to happen in our lives, we were still under his protective custody. That's why we still here, y'all. That's why we still here. So I want to thank y'all for joining us for Tea with D, time, energy, and attention worth sharing. This was a house visit. It shows up differently every time because we go with the spirit of the living God. And as we close out, we want to thank you for viewing this. If it spoke to you, share it with someone else. Hit that little like button and subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be doing a lot more. I may be at your house next. You don't know. All right. Bringing my gifts, bringing my pens, and bringing more of D. Love y'all. Gigi. Bye. Bye. Peace.